Okay, let's start with a question. What if I told you one of music's greatest minds was obsessed with simplicity? That's right. Brian Wilson, the man who turned studios into sonic amusement parks with the Beach Boys, had a near-spiritual obsession with a song that did almost the opposite. Don McLean's American Pie, a track Wilson literally called unexplainable magic, isn't about layered harmonies or studio trickery. It's just a voice, a guitar, and a story so dense it's still being decoded 50 years later. And that, honestly, is what makes this whole thing fascinating. Because if Wilson, of all people, is bowing down to minimalism, we need to ask, what's the deal with this song? Why does it matter? And what does this tell us about the DNA of truly timeless art? Let's unpack this. First, Wilson wasn't some casual fan. This is a guy who spent years obsessing over mic placement, who treated studios like chemistry labs. But when he heard American Pie, he lost his mind. Not over the production, but the opposite. McLean's ability to hold attention with literally nothing but a narrative thread and a voice so pure Wilson compared it to a steel-cutting instrument. Here's the twist. Wilson knew all the tricks to make music addictive. Reverb, layering, modulation, you name it. But what stunned him wasn't technical wizardry. It was how McLean made an 8-minute song feel like a campfire chat. That's not just admiration. It's a philosophical statement about what connects with humans. Now, let's dissect the voice thing. Wilson didn't just love McLean's tone, he envied it. He called it pure, easy to listen to, and uncluttered. But here's what people miss. This wasn't just about vocal cords. It was about intention. At a time when artists were racing to out-experiment each other in studios, McLean refused to let production overshadow the story. Think about that. In 1971, when rock was getting louder, funkier, messier, McLean's weapon was clarity. Every syllable, every character in that song, the jester, the king, lands because his voice acts like a spotlight, not a laser show. And Wilson, the ultimate studio perfectionist, saw this as revolutionary. Why? Because he understood the paradox. Sometimes, stripping everything away takes more skill than layering it on. And then there's the lyrics, or should I say, the riddle. Half a century later, we're still arguing about who the jester is. Was it Dylan? Was the king Elvis? McLean's refusal to explain it is genius. But here's the deeper layer. The song's ambiguity is what makes it immortal. Wilson got this. He said the lyrics take you on a journey. But the real journey is the listener's own interpretation. That's the magic trick. By not giving answers, McLean forced us to project our own meaning onto his work. That's why boomers, Gen Zers, and now TikTokers all claim it. And here's the kicker. Wilson, a man who controlled every note of his music, admired that lack of control. He saw how relinquishing authorship, just a little, could create something bigger than the artist. That's not just smart songwriting, it's cultural alchemy. So what's the takeaway? For me, this isn't just a story about two musicians. It's a masterclass in balance. Wilson's genius was in the details. McLean's was in the gaps. And the fact that these two opposites both achieved immortality, that's the point. Great art isn't about choosing between complexity and simplicity. It's about knowing when to surrender to the mystery. Which makes me wonder what modern songs are doing this right now. Are we too busy chasing viral moments to create something that'll haunt people for decades? Drop your thoughts. But personally, I think we'd all benefit from remembering that sometimes the most powerful move isn't adding another layer. It's removing the one that's already there.